If you're using ManyChat to build bots and flows for anybody other than yourself, whether that's a client, a student, or a member of your program, you probably want to be using ManyChat templates. This is so that you don't have to rebuild any bot flows that you've already built for yourself in your account, and you can just plug and play in your client accounts. Now, there are a few different ways to do this, and we've come a long way since ManyChat was first born and since templates have been around. So the earlier way to do this was to go into each of the flows and create little post-it notes for the end user or for yourself if you're the one doing the installing later, to go through and look for instructions on how to update and customize the template in the new client account. The client then has to go into their ManyChat settings, look for the bot fields, which is a little bit cumbersome since right now ManyChat doesn't have folders yet for bot fields, and so it's a little bit of a hassle to go through all the bot fields looking for the ones that belong to that specific bot template and update them and make sure that you're not missing a crucial, important bot field. The other reason why this isn't the best way to do it is because when you go into the settings and update any bot fields, you will not be able to save any line breaks in the text that you save. So if you have a multi-line text that you want to add in and you want those line breaks to save, they're not going to save, unfortunately, when you save them right within the settings of your ManyChat account. So stick around until the end, because in this video, I'm going to show you not just how to create a ManyChat template, but also how you can use this new tool that we use for ourselves and for our clients that make it super easy to customize your templates once they're installed. This can be a super simple way for you to install your templates in client accounts, and for your clients and students even to go in and update the templates that you install for them on their end by simply filling out a form. No more missed bot fields, no more missed line breaks. Let's do it. Now keep in mind that you can create a template out of a single flow or a combination of flows in ManyChat, depending on what your template needs to bring over with it. It really is up to you. So let's go in, and first we'll want to go into my profile. This is in ManyChat. You'll want to head on over to templates. And now you'll see all the templates that I have currently created. And so what you'll want to do is, if you don't have any here yet, no worries. Let's go ahead and see how to create your first one. Click the blue New Template button. If you manage multiple accounts or multiple pages, you'll want to select the page or the account that you are building the template from. And so in my case, it is the bot girl. I'm going to go ahead and say Use Account. And now I can pick which flows I want to include in my template. So if this is a template for a brand new bot, you can choose to include things like your main menu, your welcome message, things that really go into your bot settings. For the most part, I like to avoid this because it is so personal to each page. But if the template that you're building requires it, go ahead and select it over here. You can select any growth tools. Now, growth tools, even though you may have them in any of your flows that you're going to include in your template, are not going to automatically come through with the template. So if you want a growth tool to be included in your template, you'll have to actually manually select it here. So I'm going to skip this for now. I'm going to scroll all the way down to where I can select keywords. You'll see that there are separate ones for Facebook Messenger and for Instagram, so go ahead and select the ones that you like. In my case, I am actually not going to select any, but it's the same thing for Instagram. If you would like to select any of your Instagram keywords for this template, go ahead and select those over here. I'm going to collapse this again. Now these are your automation sequences. If you're going to include any of them here, go ahead and select these. You can either say select all or clear all. These two are actually from other templates that I've installed. Those are locked templates. And so I cannot create a template out of a locked template that I've installed from someone else. So if you see something that's grayed out, it just means that you cannot create a template out of that element. Now, when you scroll down, this is really where you're going to select the flows or a flow that you'd like to include in your template. This is really where it gets fun because you get to choose the exact flows that you want included in your template. Keep in mind that as you select flows, any custom user fields or bot fields that are included in those flows will automatically get added to your template. So you don't have to worry about going through and making sure that you selected each and every one of those. They all come through. So in this case, let's say that I want to include all the flows that are currently in my waitlist folder. So I'm going to go ahead and select this folder. If I wanted to get really granular and only select the flow, I can do that here. Instead of selecting the whole folder, I can simply select that specific flow. But in this case, let's go ahead and select the whole folder. It will show you whether you have flows that are using pro features of ManyChat, because if you do include them in your template, be sure to let your users know that this is a pro template, and so they will need the pro version of ManyChat in order to be able to install and use this template for themselves. Once you've selected the flows that you want to include, you can include more than one. Once you have those selected, you can keep scrolling down, make sure that there aren't any rules that you'd like to select. Usually if you have sequences, you might want to include a rule as well. In this case, it's simply my waitlist bot, so I don't need any rules or sequences in this template. But if you need any to be included in yours, be sure to add them here. And you can also pick any external triggers. Now you can see that these are again from external templates that I've installed from somebody else, and so I cannot use these elements in a template that I'm creating based on my page. So once you have those selected, you can scroll back up, and here you'll see the flows that you have in your template. So if I choose just one flow and it is connected to another flow, it will include that other flow that it's connected to automatically. So you can come in here and make sure that whatever you do want selected in your template has been selected and included in here, and anything that you don't want included hasn't accidentally automatically come through. Once you're happy with this, you'll want to go and hit next step. Now this is where you can see all the bot fields that are being included in your template as well. So go ahead and scroll down, make sure that you have everything that you want and nothing that you don't want to include. The thing that you'll want to pay attention to with your bot fields that are coming over are these three options that are available for every bot field separately. So if a bot field in your template has a value currently, it will ask if you'd like to pre-fill that bot field with the current value that you have in your ManyChat account for the user who is going to install your template and use it in their account as well. So in my case, I usually keep this unchecked because the values are specific to my bot and not necessarily something that I want to include in the template, because my users are going to update this on their end. And that's where this cool tool that I'm about to introduce to you is going to come in. So stick around for that. The other thing that you will want to consider is if you want to ask them to fill a value for this bot field at the time of installation. Again, I use another tool to do all of this, so I just keep that unchecked. And the third thing is you can override a field name and description. So for example, if you want to create two separate versions of the same flows, I actually have a quiz bot that I offer to my students and my clients. And a lot of times they want to test two different quizzes or three different quizzes to see which one performs the best. And so I actually have three different templates that they install for each version. It's using the same exact flows, but I override the field name and the description for my version 2 and my version 3 to make sure that we're not overwriting any of the bot fields that came through with their first installation of version 1. And so I can rename this to version 2, for example, and now the new bot field that gets created with this template will have version 2, and it won't override the other bot field that may have come in with the first installation without the v2 in it. Once I am happy with the settings that I have in here for my bot fields, all I'm going to do is say next step. Again, it's going to show me that my template will require Pro, so that's something to be aware of. I can add an avatar here. I'm simply going to go ahead and select my logo for this example. You can adjust the size of it if you'd like. Just going to go ahead and save that. I'm going to name it. So I'm going to say waitlist v2. I can choose to protect my template. So if you want to make sure that nobody copies or distributes your template from their account once this template is installed, you can protect your template. So once you turn this on, you'll see that there are two other options that also pop up. The first one is, do you want to lock it for editing? So do you want your users to be able to edit their template, so the flows within those templates? And for the most part, you do want to allow your users to customize their flows however they'd like to, so I tend to keep this off. And you can also turn on remote control, which allows you to turn off a template. Let's say you're selling a template or it's only accessible by members of your program, active members of your program. You can choose to turn this on so that if that client becomes a non-paying client or they terminate their membership with you, you have the option of going ahead and turning that template off in their account without even needing access to their account at all. So if they remove you from their account or you were never on their account at all, you don't have to worry about it. You can simply just turn it off from your ManyChat account. Once you're happy with your settings here, you'll want to go ahead and create the template. And that's it, it's done. So here you can choose if you want this to be a permanent link, which means that you can share this link in your membership group and 5 different people can click on it and install the template in their accounts, and the same link will work for all of them. Or if this is a special template that you're creating for each account or each client separately, what you'll want to do is change this to a single use link, meaning you can share it with a user or a client. Once they use it, this link will no longer work for anyone else. And so this is one way to protect your work and make sure that the same template isn't being installed and shared where it's not supposed to be. So if you are choosing this, you'll want to generate a link and it's going to create this one-time use link for you. So you can go ahead and copy it and then paste it or share it with your client in this way. Now, the cool thing that I promised you is if you want to make your life so much easier when you're updating and customizing these templates, whether you're doing it yourself or whether you're having your client do it themselves, use an app called app.butterbot.com. That's the link for you. It's app.butterbot.com. I'm going to link to this in the description as well. Once you do this, you'll need your ManyChat API key. And so let me go back to my ManyChat account. I'm going to navigate to my settings, my API. I'm going to go ahead and select it and simply paste it in. I'm going to then go ahead and hit the authorize button. Once I've done that, now I can actually see a list of all of my templates right here, and I can update any values, any bot values that are in that template straight from here. I don't have to open ManyChat. I don't have to go looking through my flows to see where I need to change what. I can simply go ahead and select a template from here. I can search for a specific bot field. You can see that this specific template has about almost 60, so it has 57 custom bot fields, which are a lot. And so let's say I'm looking for my bot field, which is called question 1. So I just type in question 1, it will search not just the name of the bot field, but the description as well, and pull up any bot fields here in this template that has question 1 in either the name or the description. I can then update the value here, and it updates in my ManyChat account automatically. So what is the advantage of doing it this way versus doing it straight in ManyChat? Well, when you go to ManyChat and you go to your bot fields, first, ManyChat doesn't yet have folders for bot fields. And so if you have a lot of bot fields like I do, it can take a while to find the right bot fields for your template. Even if you name it really well with the template name in it, it's still hard to find. And you can miss out on things or spend a lot of time trying to figure out where that bot field is that you need to update, or even remember to update it in the first place. The other big advantage is that anything that you type into the value here, it will not save any line breaks. And so if you have something that you want in here which has multiple lines, it's not going to save those line breaks. It's all going to just put it into one long line, and it's going to look like a mess when your user sees it. So if you want to do this with your line breaks intact, this is the way to do it. I'm going to go over how to set up your templates in my next video to show you how you can have your templates work with this app. So be sure to check that out if you'd like to make your template experience super plug and play and seamless for both yourself and your clients. And there you have it, using ManyChat templates the easy, quick, and efficient way. If you'd like to learn more about how to make your templates work with the Buttr Bot app, go ahead and either click the link in the description, which will give you a PDF version of the instructions on how you can set up your templates to make sure that they work with this free app, or check out my next video where I will show you how to do it and walk you through the whole thing. I'll see you there.